Joining us now, former United States Ambassador to the United Nations, John Bolton. Ambassador, thanks so much for joining us today. Before I get your reaction to the report on the attack in Iran, I do want to get your thoughts on what we heard from John Kirby in that White House press briefing a few moments ago. Not very much. And I know that you have said that there's still no clear leadership from President Biden.
Well, I think that's correct. I think even worse, they're just not facing reality. They're so much in denial about the centrality of Iran's role that it's impeding our ability to deal with what's going on in the region. I mean, I think the basic point here is that this is one chessboard, and the adversary on the other side is Iran, whether it's manifesting itself through the Houthis in Yemen trying to block commerce on the Red Sea, Hamas in the Gaza Strip, this barbaric attack on Israel. Hezbollah, John Kirby says they're not in with both feet in a war against Israel. What is 3 months of constant rocketing of civilian areas in the north, if not acts of war? And finally, the conduct of Shia militia groups against American, not just military personnel, but civilians in Syria and Iraq. We may not know exactly what Iran's strategy is. We may not know at this point exactly what its objectives are, but this is what Qasem Soleimani, whose the fourth anniversary of whose death they were celebrating in Iran today, this was his ring of fire strategy at work. And if you don't see that, if you can't see this as one big chessboard, it's no surprise you don't know how to react to it.
Ambassador, I thought a word I heard from John Kirby just in that little snippet that we got was, we're going to sit back, it's going to be react, we're going to be reactionary to this. That just strikes me as odd. We're the United States and we see the chaos that's transpiring. Our military installations, our troops being hurt, Houthi sending out drones all over the place. Shouldn't we be get ahead of it, not reactionary? That just kind of was stunning to me.
No, absolutely. I mean, right now, the Houthis of Yemen are not deterred by the United States of America. Think of that. Think of that. There are two ways to make sure that Iran goes back in its box and things don't get worse in the region. One is to beg them not to do more, which is basically what the White House strategy is. The other is to establish conditions of deterrence, to make it clear to Iran and all these terrorist proxies that whatever pain they think they can impose on Israel, on us, on our other allies in the region, they will be faced with a lot more pain in return. And their conclusion ought to be that they are much better off not initiating anything else. But if we don't make them feel pain, they will not see any consequences for the terrorist actions that they've been going on now for 3 months, and it will get worse.
Ambassador, you said on X today that American lives are at risk, and this as we're learning about revelations of a dramatic increase in Iran's stockpile of near weapons-grade uranium. This, of course, heightening fears that the West could soon find itself in a clash with the Islamic Republic. We'd just like you to take a listen to what former Senator Joe Lieberman said last night to Newsmax's Rob Schmidt.
This is not going to get better. It's going to get worse unless the Iranians fear us. If, in fact, we hit them now for all they're doing, and I mean hit them in Iran, for all they're doing in the Middle East against our allies and against our troops there, trying to kill our soldiers there, if we don't hit them hard in Iran, they're going to just keep going. And one day soon they're going to have a nuclear weapon. But if we do, I think they'll think twice about it. And to me, only strength is the answer here.
Ambassador, do you agree with the former senator?
I think he's exactly correct. If the Iranians don't understand that they will be held responsible for the acts of their proxies, whom they basically consider expendable, if the Ayatollahs don't see pain in their own country, see their own assets being put under threat, they're not going to step back. And I think what Senator Lieberman was really saying is if you want to avoid a wider war in the region, the time to act is now, not later when it gets worse. And let me just put one other thing on the table here. If this is the way Iran behaves now, imagine how they will behave once they get nuclear weapons, which is the direction that they're headed in. So I don't think there's a lot of time to waste. I'm very worried about this, but particularly when it comes to American casualties, these militia in Iraq, I'm sure at Iran's direction, within the past few weeks have rocketed our embassy compound in Baghdad. where there are a lot of civilian personnel. They've attacked our bases in Iraq, and American officers have been quoted anonymously in the media saying the only reason we haven't had a real mass casualty event as a result of these attacks is luck. And I think that's rolling the dice with the lives of American people in Iraq and Syria. I think it's irresponsible of the White House to behave that way.
Ambassador, I got one more question. We got 20 seconds here, and we're hearing from everybody. We need to send a message. Former President Trump, he took out Soleimani. Is that something along the lines that we need to do? And that seemed to work to me. We didn't have much disorder after that.
Yeah, look, I think it could be that. It could be a lot of different things regarding Quds Force headquarters, anti-aircraft positions, the Iranian Navy in the Gulf or in the Red Sea. There are a lot of targets, and Iran needs to know that.
All right. Ambassador John Bolton, some great ideas there. We certainly wish the current administration would take some of those. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.